Hey there. This is just a quick message to kind of update all of our saltines on what happened to this week's episode. So we've had some pretty nasty winter weather here in our area, and this week when we sat down to actually record the podcast, we had a power outage, and then we had a laptop die. And so I'm very sorry. There is not going to be an episode this week. So forgive us. We will be back next week. We have figured something out. We will be back next week with a new episode. And, we'll get back on a topic suggestion that we had recently, and we'll get some of our your very important questions answered on that next episode, okay? I did want to, while I'm posting this, I did want to actually answer one listener question that we'd received that I think is actually a really important one, and it's one that we've kind of talked about this a bit in past episodes, but question came in from someone who joins us on YouTube, right? And they wanted to know if the way that they are approaching their study and their practice of witchcraft was really the most appropriate, and all I could really say in answer to that is that there's no one right way to do these things, right? We talk a lot on the podcast. We're very strongly opinionated about better ways and results oriented practice, right? But there again, there's no one way to do this. More specifically, this Saltine asked us about adhering strictly to the information that they were pulling from books and other resources, printed resources that they were utilizing to learn, and whether or not they should really be super by the book or not, or if it was okay to kind of go off and do their own thing, maybe to throw a bit of intuition or personal connection in there, and and to let that also be a component of their practice while they're learning. And I think that the information that exists in books is, I think, always applicable, right? Because it is very often information that has been used by many other practitioners. It will hold value not only because of that, but also because it is, hopefully, depending on the author, it has been well researched, right? And it's good to have that information. I think that the difference there between being super by the book and and allowing your practice to be kind of a very personal and intuitive kind of a thing, and ideally you should kind of have a little bit of both going on, right? But the books are there to be a source of information, a reference, and hopefully to provide you with inspiration. What you actually do with that information in your own practice, that really pretty much needs to be all you, right? Those are your decisions. That's your path. That's your process. Okay, so that's a bit of an answer. Okay, learn what you need to learn, right? You'll want to learn about your correspondences and your alignments. You want to learn about which herbs are going to hold which properties. You want to learn about all of those things because that is real. That is real. Okay, herbs, plant spirits, other very specific kinds of things that we would incorporate into our practice. If they are known to have particular metaphysical properties, if the animistic spirits are such, you want to have that information. You need to be aware of that. Otherwise, you could be bringing plant spirits into situations that, one, don't require them, or two, you're going to regret, right? Because that's not what they do. Okay, how you incorporate those things into your practice beyond that point is entirely up to you. Okay, witchcraft is a very independent kind of thing, a very personal thing. Even when working in group situations with covens and groves and things, you still need to acknowledge your solitary practice. Okay, so again, there's an answer. I'm so sorry we didn't get a regular episode out to you all this week, okay? But we will be back next week, okay? Thank you so much. In the meantime, please feel free to send us additional questions and things, right? We're always happy to answer that information for you. And that'll be it. Thanks so much, everybody.